Welcome to our Sunday special. Children have rights, but how much of their rights are being abused? One of them is sexual abuse, which has become a cancer eaten deep into the fabric of the society. TVC's Inioluwa Popoola speaks with a survivor who is now an advocate on the laws and policies of safeguarding children.
Words like "don't tell anyone, no one will believe you" can change any child's life for the worse. Childhood has been known to be a period of learning and sweet memories, but for some children, it is full of deep anguish, sadness, and timidity. The World Health Organization, about 1 billion children have experienced one form of sexual violence in the past 1 year. In Nigeria, 1 in 4 girls and 10% of boys have experienced sexual abuse. After reaching out to many survivors who refused to share their experiences, Omolayo agreed to speak with me. She is a survivor and now a therapist.
Remember, the first one happened at 7 by a relative living in our house, and subsequent ones happened with neighbors, and it went on for a while, and I couldn't speak out about it because I didn't know it had a name. I didn't know it was called sexual abuse. I just knew that I didn't enjoy it. It was disgusting and I needed it to stop. I had some courage. I wanted to confront him and say, I don't ever want to see him in my house again and all that. But when we got to his house, we didn't meet him at home. We met his elder sister because he was staying with his elder sister, and we expressed everything to her. Oh, I mean, I heard the kind of insults I heard that day. She blamed me for everything. She said it was my fault. She said I lied. I felt humiliated. I felt embarrassed. I wished I didn't come out to speak. And that time I made up my mind I wasn't ever going to speak about it again.
She explains that sex education is important for children at a young age.
Growing up, we were not taught we could say no to adults, and then we didn't know that we could tell an adult, you can't touch me there. What sex education also does is it protects the child from becoming a pedophile too. Because when you teach sex education, you teach boundaries. You let the child know that when someone says no, no means no. You let the child know that nobody touches your private part. You do not touch other people's private parts.
As the cases keep increasing, experts advise more advocacy from the NGOs. I visited a foundation in Lagos State that caters to victims of sexual abuse. They show me around their facility while explaining the process of getting justice for the victims.
The child needs healing, which is the reason why we've launched the clinic. Get the healing, the treatment that the child needs, put the child in the shelter till the child is calm enough to have that conversation with either a therapist or the forensic interviewer. We always first go and have the child speak with the therapist. Of course, the therapist is trained to get the trust of the child, is trained to know if the child is ready to have an interview. So those processes, first of all, have to be put in place before we put a child in front of a forensic interviewer to elicit information on their.
Child sexual abuse has become an epidemic. A silent epidemic that affects both male and female. Now, this is a case where the victims are traumatized, unable to speak up, and most times the culprits are people close to home. Now, although there are laws and policies against such acts, does it work? Does it actually cover all the victims? Is it such where the victims are able to get justice without the case running cold? I then went to the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, where cases are being reported and taken up in courts.
In the criminal law of Lagos State, we have section 137, which provides for the offense of defilement. Defilement is basically having sexual intercourse with a person below the age of 18, and that is life imprisonment. When such crimes come to your attention and you attempt or you take steps to conceal that crime, it's punishable by an offense up to, I believe, 3 years imprisonment.
For a child, Sexual abuse is more than just physical. It affects the emotional, mental, and psychological well-being. And for some, it damages them for life. Inioluwa, Popoola, TVC News, Lagos.